思いをそっとハートにしまい込む。10年前に失踪した弟が君を連れて不意に戻ったのは1年前。まだ子供の面影を残した彼らは左手の薬指に互いの名前を書いた指輪をしていた。違う惑星に生まれ巡り合った運命の恋人たち。雨という名前の犬が尻尾を振って庭に死んだ金魚を見る2人の周りを回ってる。憂鬱な未来に思いを馳せる。灰色の空が西から青に染まり虹がかかる。なんて切ない光景。彼の左手の薬指が消えた。同時に彼も消失した。
Yo. Hey, what's up, Frida? I'm alright. Chilling. Slept a lot today, so feeling well rested. How about yourself? Alright, new game. This is a old school style point and click adventure game from the early 2000s. I'm playing the remastered version on Switch. It's called SYBERIA. Went to a Peruvian restaurant? Cool. Was it good? I don't think I've had Peruvian food before. It's got a great atmosphere, this game. Spicy foods? Oh boy. I wish that was me. The world capital of mechanical toys. Welcome to Valadiline. Let yourself be transported by the magnificent landscape surrounding Valadiline, a small charming town tucked away in the Alps, and by Vorarlberg Manufacturing, whose exceptional savor fare in the specialized world of luxury mechanical toys and automatons is at the root of Valadine's reputation around the world. For 800 years, the Vorarlberg family has passed its knowledge from generation to generation, perfecting the art of the particular branch of clockmaking that breathes life into the complex network of cogs and spindles that makes up automatons. Its creative wonders once defied belief, and drew the admiration of young and old alike. People would come from across Europe for a chance to vie for the right to own one of these fantastic toys. Using a controller on a point-and-click game? Yeah, it's not so much point-and-click the way I'm playing it, but you know. Unequaled savoir-faire. At the heart of a mechanical automaton is its motor. A series of spindles are set in motion to music via a set of cogs. Attached to the spindles are cams that are shaped in the image of the music. In turn, they command a series of rods which control the gestures of the toy at their tips.
I really don't have the strength to take this suitcase any further. I wonder who can help me.
Wow. She can't even lift it another inch. Whoa. I started this game years ago on Nintendo Switch and played it for maybe an hour or two. I remember a little bit. I forgot that it is not widescreen all the time. Or ever. I don't remember the borders on the left and right being there, but oh well.
Hi there. What are you doing? Can I see?
No, too difficult. Momo's work very difficult.
So, your name's Momo. I'm Kate.
Momo do like Hans. He draw.
Hans?
Don't disturb Momo. Momo work difficult.
Will you show me your drawing?
No, not finished. Go away.
I've just arrived. My case is a little heavy. Can you help me take it up to the room?
Momo's strong. Very strong. But no time. Momo very busy.
I wonder if I could do something like this. Hold on, let me see. If the game isn't true widescreen, I'm gonna try. Maybe that's a little better.
I guess I'll let you continue working.
Alright, so we gotta let Momo do his little picture or whatever. He's not gonna help me lift my 50-pound bag up to my room. You like point and click games? Because if so, I have one game that you'll probably love. Oh yeah, what's that? And yeah, I do like point and click games, though I usually play them on stream on Mondays. I'm making an exception tonight, just because we've been playing so many serious gamer games lately. I wanted something a little more low-key and chill tonight. But yeah, I'm open to recommendations. Oh, Grim Fandango? Yeah, I've played that one a bit. Yeah, that one's great. I would totally play it on stream someday.
I need a key.
Hit right in the feels. I never finished it, but I did put a couple hours into it.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'd definitely be down
Hi
to
there.
play it.
Hello there, man.
I would like a room. My company should have made a reservation in the name of Walker. The company is Marson and Lormont Associates. The name is Kate Walker.
Of course, Miss Walker. You are in room 6 on the next floor up.
Thank you. Hello, my name is...
Of course.
Could you possibly take my luggage up, please?
Your luggage? Why, of course. Please do excuse me, Miss Walker. We have been neglecting our duties. Guests are so rare these days that we forget our manners. So you're the American woman? Is it true what people say? That you've come to buy the factory?
Not factory. Anna's house. Hans' house.
Excuse me?
Would you quiet down, you mischievous little boy? Ah. I imagine our little town must disappoint you. You see, today is very sad for us. It's a day of mourning. Today is the funeral of Miss Anna.
Momo's sad, but Hans not dead. Hans long way away. Anna told Momo. Anna liked Momo very much.
That's enough, Momo. Stop pestering the lady. Now go on, scram. Get out of here, you hear?
Whoa.
What
Mean.
was I saying? Oh, yes, Miss Anna. Such a great loss for Valet de Laine, it really is. Because now that she's dead, the factory will close. But you're here to stop that happening, aren't you? Our future is in your hands, Miss Walker.
What? Anna Vorarlberg is dead?
Here's your room. I hope you like it, Miss Walker. I'll leave you to rest for the time being. You must have a lot of work to do. You know, the takeover of the factory is very good news for us here. It would make us very happy to see life return to our valley. If only you had seen Valet de Laine before. It was delightful. People came from all over the world to buy Vorarlberg automatons. Ah, somebody has left you some mail, I see. Remember, if you need anything at all, we're not far away, Miss Walker.
Were you that far? No. I got stuck on some part. I don't remember. It was a few years ago, so I don't remember exactly, but I got to some part where I didn't know what to do next or something. Yeah, hey, Zamanos. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I could turn up the game. Welcome. Um... So I guess the premise of this game is we're here to like make a bid for a toy factory or something. We're here to like purchase a toy factory on behalf of some other company. Something like that. Fax to Kate Walker from Edward Marson. New York, New York. The Big Apple. Dear Kate, our client, the Universal Toy Company, is more than eager to see conclusions from the talks with Vorarlberg Manufacturing, with a view to take over in the days to come, and we have received notification to this effect. We are counting on your undoubted qualities as a business lawyer to bring negotiations with Madame Anne Vorarlberg, to the current owner, to a close. Allow me to remind you that the Universal Toy Company is a multinational which has a monopoly on the toy market. It is a Class A priority client who is also presenting Madame Vorarlberg with a golden opportunity to sell her factory. You should remind her of this fact in case she starts having last-second thoughts before signing the purchase agreement. Too late for that. Edward, sorry to say, Madame Vorarlberg is dead. So, I am under no doubt that you will live up to the great expectations I have in you, Edward Marson.
I should tell Marson about the death of Miss Vorarlberg. I hope this isn't going to get too complicated. I can't see myself staying here too long.
Played this game many years ago. I don't remember anything about it anymore. Yeah, I put a couple hours into it myself a few years ago, before I started streaming. I kind of remember this beginning part, but nothing really after that. Nice cell phone. Mother? Let's call her Mom. Mom, can you come pick me up?
I'm sorry. Catch me after my aquagymnastics session when I'm all toned up and ready to talk.
Dang, Mom's doing aqua gymnastics today. Who's Olivia? Hey, Livy Poo.
You have reached Olivia Parker. I'm sorry I cannot take your call. Please do call again soon. Ciao.
Damn. Everyone's sending us to voicemail today. Just like real life.
Dan Foster isn't around to take your call right now, so please leave your message after the tone.
Whoa, Nokia 3310. Let me see what this looks like. Nokia 3310. Nice. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I think I had one of these too. Well, maybe just every phone looked the same back in this era. But yeah, I totally had a phone like this. I remember I also had, I think I had like a... I had some kind of like Samsung slide phone. I'm trying to see. I just googled slide phones and it looks a lot like this one. Like vertical slide Samsung type phone. Anyways, getting distracted here. Looking at old phones. Yeah, I had a flip phone and a slide phone. I remember in like the mid to late 2000s, those Razr phones were really popular. I maybe had a Motorola Razr at one point. Okay, getting totally distracted looking at old phones. If you ever manage to break it. Huh? I still have it somewhere. I'm sure it's at 99% battery by now. Yeah. You know, things were built to last back then. Okay, we'll call the boring, stupid office because none of our friends wanted to talk to us.
Martin and Lormont, how can I help you?
Can you put me through to Mr. Marson, please? It's Kate Walker.
Hold the line, please.
Nice. Hey, not bad.
Hello, Kate. So tell me,
Hey,
how's the case
I was
going?
listening to that.
I've just got to Valladolid, and there's a slight problem, Mr. Marson, I'm afraid. Mrs. Vorarlberg is dead.
Ah, that's most unfortunate. But I seem to remember we made provisions for just such a sad eventuality, and we know that there was no heir.
Yes, that's right, but...
So where's the problem, Kate? Contact the notary right away. I'll get my secretary to fax you his address and an introduction letter from the firm.
Very good, Mr. Marson.
Right, I gotta go, Kate. Keep me up to date, okay?
I just...
Yeah, I turned it up a little bit more.
I'm back again.
Miss Walker?
Hello, my name is
Of course, Walker.
What? She already introduced herself like 3 times. Mission.
A fax didn't arrive for me, did it?
Maybe. I thought I heard the phone ring.
Do you think you might want to go and check?
Certainly, ma'am. Immediately.
Thank you very much.
Dear Miss Dear Alfoltaire. If you're no doubt aware, our practice is charged with undertaking negotiations for the takeover of the Vorarlberg manufacturing by our client, the Universal Toy Company. It is with great sadness that we learn of the recent death of the manager and owner of the factory, Madame Vorarlberg, with whom negotiations had started. We're under no doubt that Madame Vorarlberg left you instructions before her death, enabling this sale to be concluded. We should remind you of the significant boost the arrival of the American multinational would bring to the economy of your region. It is for this reason that I am sure you will give our representative, Miss Kate Walker, a warm welcome. Yours faithfully, Edward Marson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At your service.
So polite. Hey, Clover. Does this game count as an FMV? No. It's a point-and-click type adventure game, although I'm playing it on Switch on controller. It is the type of game that I would play on a full-motion Monday, but considering we'd been playing so many super serious Gamer Instinct games the past few days, I decided I wanted to play something a little bit more chill and sophisticated for us uncle gamers. Hey, Moldy. Yeah, this game is good. I'm pretty sure. I've only played it a couple hours. years ago, but it's got a fan base. People like it, and there's 3 of them, so apparently they were good enough to make 3 installments.
The young boy who was here earlier talked about, Hans. Who is Hans?
Momo was talking about Hans Vorarlberg, Anna's younger brother. But he died a long time ago. Nobody here even met him.
Who is the boy who was drawing here earlier? Is he your son?
Heaven forbid. No, not at all.
That
He's not a bad boy.
that rascal couldn't be my
Momo is
son.
just a little simple, that's all.
Simple.
What is his connection with Anna Vorarlberg?
Momo is what you'd call the village idiot,
Yeah.
and Anna took him under her wing. He must have reminded her of her younger brother, no doubt. And birds of a feather stick together, don't they?
You're implying that Anna Vorarlberg was a little bit slow as well?
Yeah.
Heaven forbid. No, not at all. She was a real loner. She kept to herself, that's all.
Yeah. Hell no, he ain't my son. See the way he scratches his butt and sniffs his hand? Yeah. Definitely not my son. He's more like the village idiot. Man, how mean. Seemed like a nice boy. All he wanted to do was draw his picture.
Who is the boy who was drawing here earlier? Is he...
Oh, we already asked.
Heaven,
What is his...
Momo,
You're implying...
heaven forbid.
Automaton.
I just love all these little mechanical robots.
Yeah.
I've noticed there are tons of them here in Valadilen.
Be careful what you say. Vorarlberg automatons are not robots. If you want people to like you here, never ever pronounce the word robot.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is
okay.
the difference between an automaton and a robot, then?
Well, to tell you the truth, no one really knows.
What is going on here? Robot is a slur around these parts.
Did you know Anna Vorarlberg yourself?
Oh, why, of course I did. I mean, well, not really. She was a very great lady. We loved her very much. May she rest in peace.
I think I'm going to need your help again.
Are you leaving already, Miss Walker? Should we bring down your luggage?
No, I'm not leaving yet. It's just that...
We would love to help, but just think what would happen if the telephone rang, or if a fax arrived, or if a customer came through the door. We don't have 5 minutes rest here. I'm sorry.
It's okay, no biggie. I'm gonna go look around Valadilen. See you later.
As you like, miss.
Okay. So, if you're just arriving, our name is Kate, and we're here to broker a deal between the company that we work for and a giant multinational toy company. The company we're working for is like some kind of holdings company, I guess, and we're here to purchase the company on behalf of our client, I guess. However, as soon as we arrived, this innkeeper informed us that the owner of the toy company is dead. So now we gotta figure out what the hell's going on. And we just picked up a small cog. And some more. This is where the village idiot boy was sitting and drawing pictures. So he left some cogs, apparently. We gotta go find the notary's house. Take a look around town. Wow. Beautiful. Who's this guy?
Good morning.
Good morning. What a pleasure to meet such a lovely young lady honoring our aging streets. Please sit yourself down next to me so we can enjoy the air together.
It would be a pleasure, but I'm afraid I don't have the time. Some other time, maybe.
I hope so, miss. I remember when these streets were full of vibrant life. In those days, there was a charming encounter to be had round every corner. Our good little town of Valadilen is not what it used to be.
It looks like things have changed a bit around here.
Our children have all left the valley. They need to earn a living, don't they? Can't really blame them. You have to move with the times, don't you? And it's not at the Vorarlberg factory that they'll find jobs. Being excluded from the world is not an easy burden to bear, believe you me, miss.
But it's such a pretty little village.
I can tell you're not from these parts. I hope you enjoy the pleasures that we still have to offer. Good day to you.
Believe you me is such a strange expression. I've never understood it until I just thought about it right now. I kind of understand it now, I guess. Like, believe you me. Believe you me. If you can believe me.
Hello again.
If you have 5 minutes to sit and talk, I could tell you a thing or two about the olden days.
I am sorry. I really am in a hurry.
Tis a pity.
Let's check this way first. Yeah, very peaceful atmosphere. I love a cloudy day such as this after it's rained. Can't go up to that house.
Doesn't look like that works. Doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like. The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
Oh, breaking and entering?
If that's going to work, it looks like something's missing. That doesn't work.
Apparently we need some kind of item for him to hold. Whoa. The Valladolid Gazette. Wednesday, April 16th, 2002. Mourning the loss of the Queen of our hearts. Let us pay homage today to Anna Vorarlberg, who died peacefully yesterday at the age of 86. The great lady devoted her life to her business and our community. This formidable woman had an extraordinary energy, a force that allowed our automaton technology to develop and to make our valley continually proud. Her vitality was matched by her generosity and goodness, which has marked all of Valladoline's inhabitants. The mayor of our town has declared that today would be a day of collective mourning. In honor of Madame Vorarlberg, her funeral will take place this morning at 10 a.m. in the parish church, officiated by the town's priests. Ecology, the protest group Mountain Peace, demonstrated yesterday near the site of the new Espiet Dam. They claim the construction of the dam has damaged the blue warbler's natural habitat. Intervention on the part of the forest ranger was necessary to disperse the demonstrators. Editorial. Anna Vorarlberg's death marks the end of an era in Valladolid. Madame Vorarlberg was an outstanding woman who presided over Vorarlberg manufacturing for more than 50 years. Her death seems to bring further loss in its wake, sounding the death knell of our automaton factory. the economic heart of our town. It is impossible to view her passing without concern for the future of our valley. In the last decade, computers, video games, and electronic robots have become predominant in our consumer society, rendering traditional clockwork mechanisms obsolete. The age of the wind-up toy is over. Such technology cannot compete in the modern economic climate and has fallen by the wayside. It would have been definitively consigned to oblivion if Vorarlberg Manufacturing had not upheld its renowned savoir-faire, helping Valladolid to remain economically active. However, today the industry has lost its spiritual force and the future looks bleak. Maybe the time has come to celebrate the prospective American takeover of the factory. But what will be the cost to the soul of Valladolid? Yeah, so the factory that we're here to purchase is a mechanical toy factory. That's why there's so many of these little robot guys. Sorry, automaton toys and trinkets attached to everything. Don't call them robots.
No point. It's locked.
How does she know? She didn't even try. No point. Yeah, no point in anything anymore now that Madame Vorarlberg is no longer with us. Might as well just freaking give up. You gonna get banned if you keep saying it? Yeah, true. Very nihilistic protagonist. Yeah, she's edgy. La 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 la. Wow, beautiful.
No point. It's locked. I'll
No-
come back when the funeral is over.
No point, it's locked. Where to next? Maybe we should call her mom again. Mom, can you come pick us up? I'm scared.
Hi, just finishing off a good facial. Be with you in a mo, bright and fresh. Bye.
I love our mom. Staying busy in her old age. First, she was doing aqua gymnastics so she couldn't talk, and now she's getting a facial. Oops. Call Dad. Sadly, we don't have Dad's number. Find the notary's house. Well, we don't have that many options here.
The door's locked. But if that's going to work... If that's going to Doesn't look like that works.
No. Maybe we'll go talk to the guy again.
I'm back again.
Miss Walker?
I think I'm going to...
Are you leaving or...
No,
No, nothing new to talk to him
It's
about,
okay.
it
Nope.
seems.
I'm gonna go look around Valid...
As you like, miss.
There's some other rooms up here we didn't try. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, this was our room. Okay, nothing up here. He's going to complain about the guy that's not his son again.
I'm back again.
Miss Walker?
I'm gonna go look around...
As you like, miss.
Hey man, help me out. Give me a hint.
Hello again.
If you...
I am sorry.
It's not mother. Wrong number.
Sorry. Can't have the phone ringing in the middle of a contract.
Maybe the office will help us.
Hello, Martin and Lawmont.
Can you put me through to Mr. Marson, please? It's Kate Walker.
Mr. Marston's in a meeting right now and doesn't want to be disturbed. I'll tell him you called.
Oh, okay. Alright. Not happy to admit I just had to look up what to do again. Or already, I mean.
The door's locked.
Wait. This?
If that's going to...
No. There we go. Nice. And we're in. Hey, what happened to our guy?
If that's going to work... If that's going... If that's going to work... Hello, sir.
Miss Walker, I presume. Have you had a good journey?
Everything went very smoothly. Thank you.
Do take a seat, Miss Walker, please.
I imagine you are aware of the business that brings me here.
Of course, I was waiting for you.
I am the legal representative for the Universal Toy Company. I'm responsible for...
So I understood, Miss Walker. Miss Walker, I am afraid that the sale of the Vorarlberg factory is not as straightforward as it first seemed.
Whoa there. Everything was agreed. We'd obtained Anna Vorarlberg's consent, and her death does absolutely nothing to invalidate that. Now I have to be back in New York the day after tomorrow, Metro Alphoter. My client and I are impatient to seal this deal.
I understand only too well, Miss Walker. There is an heir, Miss Walker.
Excuse me? An heir? But Madame Vorarlberg never married, as far as I know. And in my last conversation with her, she absolutely never mentioned this detail.
Miss Walker, believe me, I was more surprised than you are. Anna Vorarlberg sent me a letter 2 days before she died. Understand, Miss Walker, that had I known about this earlier, I would have informed you. I shall read you the document in my possession. I am so very old. It seems that today life is slipping away from me more quickly than I imagined, and I fear that I will not be of this world to sign the takeover contract for my dear factory. So, I must make this confession to you now. My brother, Hans, is still alive. It would not surprise me if you find this difficult to believe, but it is indeed the truth. You must remember his death, his funeral, too. Even though you were very young at the time, it was but a sordid charade dreamt up by our father. To him, the very idea that his only son should wish to leave Bala-Dilen and abandon the family business was unbearable. When Hans left, he preferred to think him dead and make everybody else believe this too. He obliged me to bear this terrible secret as well. I repeat that Hans is still alive. So when I die, it is he who becomes the sole and rightful heir of our factory.
Okay, I see. If Hans Vorarlberg is not dead after all, then I just have to sign the contracts with him. I suppose you've already contacted him? Where can I reach him?
Intrigue.
The second half of the letter informs us that Hans Vorarlberg is somewhere in Siberia.
Oh, they said it.
I will leave the document in your hands to read at your leisure.
So, Madame Vorarlberg has a brother who's still alive, but the town thinks the brother is dead because they did a fake funeral for him when the brother said he wanted to leave town and go adventuring when they were younger. So Madame Vorarlberg's father was ashamed of this, apparently, and decided to tell everyone that his son was dead. But he's still out there somewhere, adventuring in Siberia, so I guess we gotta go to Siberia now. Dear Matre Alforter, it seems that today life is slipping away from me more quickly than I imagined, and I fear that I will not be of this world to sign the takeover contract for my dear factory. Oh, this is what the guy just read to us. My brother Hans is still alive. It would not surprise me if you find this difficult to believe. You must remember his death and his funeral too, even though we were very young at the time. It was a sordid charade dreamt up by my father. The idea that his only son would wish to leave Bala-Dilen and abandon the family business was unbearable. When Hans left, he preferred to think him dead and make everybody else believe this too. Hans is still alive. I've never had the chance to see my dear brother again. Fortunately, though, Hans and I have remained very close. In thought. Throughout the years, I have been able to follow his meandering life as he sporadically sent me news. On occasions, he would write me letters, but they were rare, as my brother, since his unfortunate accident, has maintained a phobia for the written word. What? What kind of accident could he have had that made him have a phobia of writing? However, he sent me several plans of automatons that I eagerly had made up at the factory, and I will admit that they have largely contributed to the success of Vorarlberg.
Anna Vorarlberg had no further information to add?
Unfortunately not, Miss Walker. I have told you as much as I know. The situation in legal terms is now clear. If you want to conclude this sale, you have to find Hans Vorarlberg. Apparently, there is a body lying in the town cemetery. There also seems to be some ghost wandering around Siberia. It seems you had your work cut out for you. Believe me, Miss Walker, when I say that I am most sorry for this regrettable setback. Most sorry.
Great. What now, then?
Perhaps you will find out more in the Vorarlberg factory archives. You will find the key in the waiting room. My role in this affair finishes here with the reading of this letter. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must rest. You see, my health is not excellent at the moment, and my doctor forbids me from working for too long. I will not detain you for any longer, Miss Walker. Do not forget to close the door as you go out.
Goodbye, sir.
Wow. It's heating up. I heard the beginning is slow. But I could definitely see how it would start to pick up once we get out of town on the chase for Hans. He needs some monomate.
If that's going to work.
Telescopic key.
Hello?
Kate?
Dan, I'm so pleased to hear your voice.
How are you, honey? Did you have a good journey? Have you settled in?
It was long, tiring, damp especially, but I'm okay. Especially when you...
Everything going as planned?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Is this
not
her
really.
boyfriend?
It's not exactly what I thought it would be. You know, everything's so different here.
Actually, while we're on the subject, I managed to free myself up tomorrow lunchtime. I'll come and meet you at the airport. I hope the flight from Paris won't be delayed. We're expected at the Goldbergs about 8 o'clock. I hope you have the time to take a shower and change, my poor honey bun.
Dan, I don't think the Goldbergs tomorrow night is really on.
Don't worry, Kate. You'll be as perfect as ever. Anyway, you never have to wear much to look really great.
Dan, I'm going to have to extend my stay here. There's 1 or 2 complications. You understand?
Kate, honey, what are you talking about? It's only a measly toy factory.
The sale isn't going through as expected. I've got to stay a bit longer. Dan, you don't mind, do you?
But Katie, you can't do this to me. I mean, it's the Goldberg contract. There's millions of dollars on the line here.
I know, I'm sorry. You go ahead. Don't worry about me. I'll get back as soon as I can, I promise. Okay, I've got to go. I'll call you back soon. Love you, honey.
You can't do this to me. Wow, what a needy little boy. Deal with it, honey bun. I've got an adventure to go on.
Hello.
Kate, so what's new?
We've got a problem, Mr. Marson.
What problem? Come on, Kate, don't beat around the bush.
There's maybe an heir.
What?
Hans, Anna Vorarlberg's brother. Looks like he's still alive. We can't buy the factory without his consent.
What? What is this? Where's this mystery brother come from? And more to the point, where is he? What did the notary say?
Nothing. I mean, nothing else.
And he's mad.
No, sir, it's an odd town here. Everything's odd. The people, things. The situation's not straightforward. I have a small bit of research to do.
Listen to me, Kate. Universal Toys is one of our biggest clients, and I don't care how weird that town is. All that matters is that you do not set foot back in New York before you've tied up the deal.
Why are you
Get the
yelling?
picture.
Yes, Mr. Marson. You can count on me. Darn it!
Might need a stretch break soon. Okay, so
That door is locked. I've got to find another way around.
your dog's here to watch some stream. Enjoy, Poochie. What kind of dog? Ooh, secret key. Yorkie mixed? Oh, that's cute. Whoa. Rifling through his sock drawer. Red punch card. Purple punch card. Wow. I would never have figured that out. Nice. Wait, I might have forgotten something back in the priest's... Oh, shoot. I forgot something. There it is. To my successor, Valadane Parish Priest. The sanctity of confession is a sacred vow, so these revelations are the result of much soul-searching and reflection. One day in March 1938, Rudolf Vorarlberg knocked at my door. I was a young priest then, and was overawed by the dominant personality of the town's most important figure. I remember it was raining that day, and beneath his dripping hair, Monsieur Vorarlberg's face was the very expression of eternal pain itself. Through gritted teeth, his eyes swimming with grief, he announced that his son Hans had just died. He wanted me to come immediately to bless the body. I entered the dark drawing room at the family home. Hans' coffin was set in the middle, sealed shut. Monsieur Vorarlberg told me that he wanted no one to see the body of his son. Hans' badly mangled corpse had been discovered at the bottom of a precipice. It was presumed that he had slipped and fallen badly. Despite his 18 years of age, the young Vorarlberg did not have all his faculties. No, I don't have any pets. I grew up with a ton of pets. And my mom has a cat, my dad has a cat separately. But we always had pets growing up. At any one time, we might have had three cats and 2 dogs. And then my mom had 2 Sheltie dogs later on in life, and some kind of cat. Whoa.
If that's going to...
Cutscene. Oh, cool.
I no longer need these punch cards.
No longer need the punch cards, huh? What were the other 2 for? Hopefully this game isn't too boring for people. I'm having fun. I want to know where the story goes. You eventually leave town and go on an adventure to Siberia. On the hunt for Hans Vorarlberg. So we can close this damn deal. If I were her, I'd say screw that, I'm going home. Bonus. Hey, we got some kind of bonus. I don't know what that's for. Whoa. Down into the crypt. Hans Vorarlberg. Whoa, what a freak. Is she really about to open it? Wow. How'd she know how to do all this anyways? Press cuts. There ain't no body in his coffin. Valadine voice cylinder. She is crazy. Anything for the deal. The art of the deal. She should go on Shark Tank. With determination like this, she'd be great on Shark Tank. I would never in my life do all this shit for my job.
Doesn't look like...
Nice. Into the factory. Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
Man, she's also a master of B&Es. She's breaking into every house in town. For the promotion, yeah. That's true. Whoa, hedge maze?
Good morning. You've got a magnificent garden here.
Oh, please don't talk about it. Since my gardener automaton broke down, there are weeds everywhere. You can't imagine how much work it takes me. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. We're not used to doing without our robot help here in Veladiland. But everybody says that we're going to have to get used to it.
Veladiland. See, this is the danger of an automated society. Now these humans don't remember how to do work anymore.
Good morning.
Alright. Skip.
Oh,
Nice. Key. ChatGPT. Whoa. Cool. How beautiful. I wish I lived in Valladolid. Valladolid. Nice. Social media is the new top paid job? Like, how so? Like, what kind of social media? Like, an influencer? Or do you mean, like, being a social media manager or something? Influencer? That's so fucked. Anna. Whoa, Anna Vorarlberg's diary? May 14th, 1930. Yesterday something terrible happened. I do not know who to turn to, who to talk to, so I've decided to write it down. You, dear diary, are now my confidant and my sole guardian of my secret thoughts. Hans lies in the next room, teetering between life and death, and I am terrified. Hans is her brother. Oh, the injustice of life. First Mama, then Hans. Please, dear Lord, don't take my little brother away as well. May 15th, 1930. Hans made me promise to keep this secret, but it's a burden too heavy. I know I can tell you, though, dear diary. We discovered a cave in the mountains, a marvelous cavern with ancient paintings on the walls. Only prehistoric man could have painted them, because there were depictions of mammoths, which are prehistoric creatures as well. That much I know. I hate mammoths. Now, it's all because of them, and because of that stupid prehistoric children's toy. Why, Hans? Oh, why did you try and take it? And why did I let you climb up in there? It's my fault. You are in a coma now. Hans, if you die, I do not know how I could ever forgive myself. 16th. Hans still not regained consciousness. Father cannot sleep, and Gertrude cries all day long. Outside, the heat is suffering, but inside, the house is icy cold and dismal. I still have hope, though. I know my brother. I know his strength. He will pull through. He never gives in. May 17th. I cannot think of anything else but Hans. In all my waking and sleeping dreams, I see his face over and over again. I see his head hitting the rock, and his oh-so-pale face softening. I have taken refuge in the attic. It is the only place where I find any peace wrapped up in all my memories. It's beautiful. May 18th. 5 days have passed since the accident, and Hans still has not opened his eyes. To see him like this is unbearable. Please, God, protect him. Take my life, not his. I feel so desperate, so alone. I want to snuggle up in Father's arms, but I dare not. He is just so impassive. Oh, Hans, don't leave me here. May 20th. It has happened. Hans has come back to life. He opened his eyes and uttered my name. My name. Do you realize? This is the happiest day of my life. I want to take to the streets and sing, to proclaim my joy to the world. Thank you. Thank you, God. May 22nd. How wonderful, how beautiful life is. Gertrude and I cannot stop breaking into uncontrollable fits of giggles. Hans even wolfed down his meal today. I knew he was tough, my little brother. Even Father smiled at me today when he said good morning. May 25th. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I am totally absorbed in Hans' recovery. I have scarcely 5 minutes to myself to return to my refuge and scribble down these words. Skips ahead to May 29th. It is very curious whether Hans is hungry, thirsty, or if he wants something. He cannot stop saying my name. He can't bear it when I leave him even for an instant. Gertrude thinks that I should move my bed into his room to help him sleep better. I hope that Father will agree. Okay, it's getting weird. Skips ahead again. June 2nd. Today was the first day that Hans has left the house. We went for a short walk in the garden, but Hans is still very weak. The doctors said we should be patient and shouldn't rush him. It is so hard, though. I hope so much that life can return to how it once was. Skips ahead even further, June 20th. Hans has been out of his coma for a month now. He still doesn't say much and has difficulty moving. He sits motionless for long periods of time, his eyes wide open, as though lost in thought. I have often had to call his name several times before he reacts. Then he will smile, and when he does, the moment is magic for me, and I couldn't possibly be happier. June 22nd. I had to talk to him. The burden was too great. I asked Hans about the accident in the cave to find out what he could remember. He could utter only one word, mammoth, and his eyes glowed so strangely when he said it frightened me. Skips ahead months, September 15th. I go back to school today, and for the first time in my life, I am dreading it. I'm afraid of leaving Hans alone. Despite Gertrude's kindness and attention, I have the impression that Hans is much less nervous when I'm there. Skips ahead a month, October 20th. While I was doing my homework yesterday evening, Hans crept up on me so quietly that it made me jump. He took a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, and curiously, he started drawing. It is the first time since his accident he has done anything but daydream. Hans scribbles almost obsessively. It is all he will do, all day long. I feel it annoys Father. Nobody else understands, but I can see that Hans is trying to draw mammoths. November 16th. Today is my birthday, and Gertrude has made me an apple pie, my favorite, but Father has not returned home for lunch, and Hans doesn't want to leave his room. The best present I could ever have is to see Hans back on the way to recovery. December 25th. Snow is falling. It's so beautiful. January 10th, 1931. The doctor visited to examine Hans. He seems happy that my little brother has fully recovered his faculties. It truly is a miracle. I don't understand why he doesn't talk more, though. Why isn't he livelier like he was before? February 9th, 1931. It is Hans' birthday. Today he is 11 years old. I have the strangest of impressions that actually he has lost 5 years rather than gained 1 more. February 24th. The doctor has just left. I saw him whispering with Father. Their serious expressions worried me awfully. What could they have been hiding from me? I'm a grown-up now. At the age of 15, you can understand everything. I am too scared to ask Father what is happening. March 15th. I have been thinking, and it seems to me that Hans' attitude isn't normal. The shock of the fall in his coma must have had much more serious effects than we first imagined. Hans, my dear brother, what is happening to you? April 4th. I have discovered the truth. Hans is stunted, physically and mentally. I eavesdropped a conversation between the doctor, Father, and Gertrude. Gertrude buried her tear-filled eyes in her apron, and Father muttered the word retard under his breath. How could he say such a thing? Yo, man. This village, a little behind the times. April 13th, 1931. It is Esther, and we're on school holidays. It is Easter, and we're on school holidays. This means I can spend all day with Hans and protect him from Father's permanent dark moods. He cannot accept the factory accept the fact that Hans, his only son, will stay in this state forever. Uh-oh. April 14th. It is truly difficult to accept, but it is not Hans' fault. Mine, maybe, but not Hans. I don't know how to make father understand. He seems full of hatred for him. It is dreadful. I feel so powerless. May 14th. 1 year. 1 year has gone by, and it feels like an eternity. The situation shows no signs of improvement, neither in terms of Hans' mental health or father's attitude towards him. Wow, there's so much more to the story than Hans just wanting to go out and adventure. May 30th. Extraordinary. Father has decided to take Hans to Paris for new tests. He says that only in the French capital will he find truly competent doctors. We must make Hans ready for the great expedition. June 6th. No news from father and Hans, but I remain hopeful. I am sure they will take good care of my little brother. July 15th. They have returned! Hans rushed into my arms and started crying. It took me a long time to calm him down and get him to sleep. Father is still as taciturn as he was before he left. The French doctors have confirmed the diagnosis. Hans will remain physically and mentally impaired. I'm stunned. August 28th. The summer is coming to a close. It has been less stifling than the last. The sun has put color in Hans' cheeks. When I look at him, I have difficulty imagining that he will not change. November 16th. Father still says nothing and increasingly shuts himself away in his office at the factory. Christmas. Gertrude tells me that love and faith triumph over any science. I lack neither. God be praised. January 12th, 1932. Father took Hans to the factory this morning. Hans was so afraid that I accompanied them. Fortunately, father said nothing. I fail to understand why he insists on bringing him there. January 13th. Father left for the factory with Hans once again this morning. I think he wants to persuade Hans that he could be useful for something. It is his way of resisting fate. For a month now, every morning, Hans has gone to work with father at the factory. I'm not exactly sure what he does there, but he seems to enjoy it. I feel my brother's behavior has changed considerably. He is much less capricious. April 14th. I could cry. Hans has made me a present. A small robot mammoth with a trunk that rises and falls. When father saw it, he nodded his head in satisfaction. May 20th. Both Gertrude and father now have their own robot mammoths. Theirs are even more intricate and finely tuned. Little brother is not such a quote-unquote retard after all. Yeah, Dad. October 15th, 1932. Hans' mammoths now walk, raise their trunks, and wag their tails. It's incredible. December 22nd. I met the head of the factory workshop, Mr. Grips, this morning. He says that for a young lad of 12, Hans is very gifted. It is a shame he only makes elephants. Flower. February 11th, 1933. Father and Hans were locked in a long discussion yesterday, or should I say, Hans was locked in one of father's long monologues, as it is inconceivable that Hans should go to school like other children. Father wants to take him on as a worker at the factory. However, Hans will have to stop making his own little devices. Hans' silence, his half-gaping mouth, and staring eyes finally sent father off in a rage. Feb 12th. I tried to broach the subject with Hans. I suggested he should obey father. Learning a craft at the factory is his one chance to do something constructive with his life. He is so gifted and takes so much pleasure in making automatons. He did look like he wasn't listening to me, but I know he'll think about what I said. Feb 20th. It's not that Hans cannot speak, it's rather that he doesn't want to speak. He uses the least possible words for communication, except with me, but he is still very economical with words. May 15th. Incredible! Hans was not just satisfied with learning how the assembly lines worked, instead he was completely redesigned it. Father and Monsieur Grips are taking a serious look at his plans. Man, I'm locked in here. They got me hooked. I want to know what happens here. July 10th. Father has wanted to talk to me about my future since I passed my exams. He wants to send me to university because he says my intelligence is astounding. My heart is beating so loud. It is true, I do love studying, but I couldn't bear to be away from Hans. September 2nd, 1933. What a ghastly summer. I have been permanently torn between my desire to go to university and my refusal to leave my brother. I talked about it with Hans, but he said nothing. That same evening, I found my own little mammoth broken. October 9th. Hans had another fit of hysterics at dinner again. Father announced that Hans' new assembly line would soon be finished. However, they have removed the automaton parrots that shout orders, as they were deemed superfluous. Hans was livid, not the fucking parrots. He hurled his soup dish to the ground and stormed off to his bedroom. What will happen between the both of them when I am not here? October 17th. Despite my scruples, I am finally leaving. Hans has not talked to me for a week. Father would not understand if I told him why I wanted to stay. My heart is so heavy. Christmas. It is so strange to be home. I had never left home for such a long time before. Once we were alone, Hans did not stop talking. Words just leaped from his mouth. How we laughed at his excitement. He presented me with a delightful little ballerina to replace the mammoth, he told me. I was so touched that I started crying. Distance has done nothing to harm the strongest bond between us. September 10th, 1937. Wow, years ahead. It is strange to pick up this diary once more. At first, my impulse was to tear it up, but I resisted, and instead succumbed to my second desire, which was to write for a while. I am alone in my attic once more. I have been home for 2 months now, and after a summer spent living with the intense joy of being reunited with my brother, Hans has returned to the factory. Father is aged so, and Gertrude's arthritis causes her terrible pain. September 13th. All in all, these last 4 years have been kind to Father and Hans. Their relationship is less tense. They still do not exchange much conversation, but they now have a thing in common, the factory. I'm even beginning to feel a bit jealous. Silly, really. Hans hasn't changed. To help Gertrude, he has designed a totally automated kitchen, and Gertrude can't stop moaning at the wooden puppets. Oh, how I adore them. October 9th. I went to go and see Father and Hans at work. I hadn't been to the factory for ages. It is strange how much it has changed. I was very curious to see them set about their tasks. I like Father's new office very much. Hans has a small workshop on the first floor, crammed with odds and ends, unfinished robots and designs exactly as I imagined, in fact. October 15th. The factory is working very well. Orders for toys keep coming in, spurred on by the run-up to Christmas. When I was at university and I said my name was Vorarlberg, people would ask me if I had any relation to the Valladolid factory. Now I know the effect that Hans' genius has had on the factory's renown. November 2nd. To make myself useful, I started helping Father set his papers in order. The most extraordinary thing of all is that for the first time ever, I have the impression that the three of us form a real family. December 8th. Hans never ceases to surprise me. Between home and the factory, his behavior is so very different. In his workshop, he is serious, concentrated, a proper young man who keeps his eye on everything going on, constantly on the move and in control. One has the impression that each single toy is his very own infant. At home, he turns back into a child once more, and is either moody or a happy-go-lucky buffoon. Christmas. The most wonderful Christmas of my whole life. Hans and I could not stop giggling like children beneath Father's disapproving glare. I know that he was only pretending, really. Our hearts are so full of hope. January 5th, 1938. Hans came to see me in my bedroom yesterday evening. I felt terribly awkward, terribly ill at ease. I might have guessed. Hans wants to leave. Leave Valladolid, the house and the factory. He wants to go traveling. He doesn't know where to or for how long. That's just like him. I was so shocked that I told him his plans were foolish. He left my room without a word, his head bowed. I thought that he wanted to leave because of Father. Not at all. It's because of the mammoths. He wants to go tracking mammoths. I thought he had gotten over his obsession. I know my brother only too well. I wouldn't dream of telling him his quest is useless. It isn't worth it. He will not listen to reason. January 10th. I was so selfish the other evening. I returned to talk to Hans and ask him gently if he was sure of his decision. I already know what the reply is going to be. Nothing will make him change his mind. Despite my profound sadness and despair, I must help Hans fulfill the destiny he has chosen and announce the news to Father. I fear the worst. The worst was worse than my fears. Father's anger was terrifying. He shut Hans away in his workshop at the factory and has forbidden all visitors except for Gertrude, who feeds him. Father has decided that Hans should remain locked up for as long as it takes him to abandon his infantile decision. Gertrude tells me that Hans is very despondent yet highly resolute. The worry is driving me mad. February 6th. As soon as Gertrude returns from the factory, I hasten to get the news of my little brother. He doesn't say anything. He just fiddles with bits and pieces, she replies every day with a sigh. I have tried desperately to reason with Father, but I know I am just wasting my breath. February 9th. Hans is 18 years old today, and he is all on his own for his birthday. Feb 20th. In secret, Gertrude delivered to me a small robot from Hans. It is a robot of us as children. It works with a small cylinder punched with tiny holes. I quivered with emotion as I turned the key. The message it gave was simple. He was telling me he loved me very much. Gertrude gave me a different tiny cylinder for today's toy. Hans is truly incredible. He has found a means of communicating between us and us alone in total secret. February 27th. My days are spent eagerly awaiting Hans' messages. He is now resolved to run away. He is preparing his escape, like if it was a game. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here. March 6th. Gertrude has returned and she is beside herself. Hans has disappeared. Father has not even deigned to return to the workshop where he locked up his son, nor find out how he managed to escape. He just gave me a black look as if he knew we were up to something behind his back. March 7th. It is beginning to dawn on me that Hans has gone. I miss him so much. Lord, please protect my little brother and watch over him for me. With Hans gone, Father now locks himself away, night and day, at the factory. This house is so gloomy now. This morning I caught Father in the drawing room, installing a coffin on a trestle. The sight of it made my blood freeze. What on earth is he up to? My questions meet only with strong silence and a permanent black countenance. Behind the closed curtains, the drawing room with the coffin, surrounded by huge candles, has become a veritable funeral chamber. This is ghastly. I have just understood what Father is up to. This morning, the priest came to pray before the coffin, and I finally caught on. Father is in mourning for the death of Hans. Father made the priest believe that his son was dead. How could he do such a thing? In the madness occasioned by his grief, my father grows ever more cold and calculating. He contacted his old friend, Dr. Schmoll, who duly drew up a bona fide death certificate without even seeing the body. I dare not imagine what yarn he spun. Hans' funeral will be officially held next Sunday. Father strictly forbade me to attend. This sordid masquerade makes me feel ill, but I cannot denounce the subterfuge, or else I will display my father's mental instability to the world. The shame would kill him. That much is certain. I have to get away. Far, far away. A month later. No, I will not leave. I have thought long and hard. My life is here, next to my father. He needs me too much now. The factory needs me. Because father is incapable of running it now. Besides, I can only find peace of mind among Han's robots. And how shall I know when he has sent me new ones if I'm not at home to receive them? No, I shall not leave. My destiny is to remain here and keep watch. Woo! That was a lot. It was good though. I liked that. That was quite enjoyable. You want to go to Kentucky? Kentucky's cool. I've been there before. I ever get the malls and there'd be this one guy screaming. A couple days later, I find the guy's Instagram reels, and he's one of the reasons why people under age 18 can't enter the mall unless they have an adult or guardian with them. Oh yeah, I heard malls have started to do that. I liked that story a lot. I think that gave quite a bit of character to the underlying mystery that we're chasing. Ink bottle. I do need a stretch break now, though. And I don't know how to save.
Clover 1419 just redeemed hydrate.
I also wouldn't mind playing some like Mega Man Legends or something tonight. I was planning for this to be a bit of a shorter stream, but what are you guys feeling? Do you want to keep trucking with this, or do you want to play some Mega Man? I'd be happy either way. If we switch, I'll definitely play this again. Possibly even tomorrow for Full Motion Monday, but it's also not a very long game. It's like 5 hours. Oh, also, I didn't hear the hydrate earlier. My headphones are plugged into my monitor. I don't have work tomorrow now. Yeah, I really enjoy this game. Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend. Nobody here works tomorrow. Well, maybe some people do. But lots of people have tomorrow off. But, yeah, first things first is I need to use the restroom and stand up and stretch. Hey, Darkbulb. Yeah, weren't you playing this recently? I've always wanted to get through it. I've only played it a couple hours in the past, years ago. This is the furthest I've gotten, I think. I actually kind of love it. I think it's only going to get better. That water hit him, yeah. But we have been playing it for a while now. The stream's been going for almost 2 hours. I don't think it'd be such a bad thing for a change of pace. With some Mega Man or something. But I don't know. As much as I think a change of pace would be good, I'm really enjoying this at the same time, so it's hard to decide. Finished the first one, and I'm an hour or two into the second one. Nice. Yeah, I've got 1 and 2 on Switch. Which is how we're playing this one. But, yeah, first things first. I need a stretch break. I've been going for almost 2 hours without one. Throw on some tunes here. Oh yeah, I forgot we were gonna finish Team Innocent. So maybe we'll play that tomorrow. I would switch to it tonight, but I don't want to play it unless we are for sure going to be able to have enough time to finish it. Maybe Mega Man is a little bit more brainless and button pushy. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks.
1.
Flight 1505. Flight 1505.